2503330OM, 2503370M, and 2503390M. The People versus Ricardo Calhoun.
Your Honor, Elias Muad P41632 representing Mr. Calhoun.
All right, Mr. Calhoun, can you tell me your first and last name?
Ricardo Calhoun. Hey, Your Honor, you mind if I put my glasses on? I'm kind of outside and I really need them to see, but they dark. Is that okay for you? Or just leave them off? I'll leave them off. I'll leave them off.
Okay. All right. So we have here today, I have a plea agreement in front of me, where if Mr. Calhoun pled guilty on the 0330 case, the two other cases would be dismissed. And there's also notation on here that there's restitution in the amount of $2,056 to J.C. Penney.
That is correct, Judge. Everything you just said is correct.
Okay, so first things first, I don't see that Mr. Calhoun has been arraigned.
Okay.
So as to arraignment.
Stand mute, Judge. Waive the reading and stand mute, Judge.
All right, I'll enter a not guilty plea on his behalf on these three files. Okay, and then Calhoun, did you go over your constitutional rights with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm gonna go over some of them specifically with you before we take this plea. Sir, you've been brought to court on misdemeanor charges. Each of these three cases is a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 90 days in jail, a fine of up to $500 or 3 times the value of the property. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, your attorney has waived the formal reading and not guilty plea has been entered on your behalf with terms to arraignment. You have the right to a jury trial and you have the right to assistance of an attorney. Okay, if you couldn't afford an attorney, one will be appointed at public expense. If there was a minimum jail sentence, which there is not on your offense, or the court determines it might sentence you to jail. You may have to repay the expense of the court-appointed attorney if you did have a court-appointed attorney, if the court determines that you were able to pay at that time. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you have a right to a trial. And at the trial, you would have the following rights: to call witnesses to speak for you at trial. And you could get an order signed by the court to require witnesses to come to court. You have a right to see and hear and question all witnesses against you at trial. You have a right to be a witness for yourself or to remain silent. If you chose not to be a witness on your own behalf, the prosecutor could not comment on your refusal to testify. You also have a right to be presumed innocent unless proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand all of that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understand if you plead guilty or no contest and your plea is accepted, you will not have a trial of any kind and you will give up the rights I've just read to you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that if you are currently on probation or parole and you enter a plea of guilty, it could result in a violation of your probation or parole?
Yes.
Okay. And you understand that fines, costs, and other financial obligations imposed by the court must be paid at the time of assessment, except when the court allows otherwise for good cause shown. If you're not able to pay due to financial hardship, you could contact the court immediately to request a payment alternative. Do you understand all of that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Sir, you also understand that if you are not a citizen of the United States and you enter a plea of guilty, it could be a violation of your conditions.
Yes. Yes.
Strike that. If you are not a citizen and you enter a plea of guilty, it could have immigration consequences up to deportation. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yes.
Knowing all of that, how do you plead the larceny?
Plead guilty, Your Honor.
Has anyone forced you to get you to plead?
No,
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea agreement to get you to plea?
no, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty of your own free will?
Yes,
Sir, were you in the cellar on December 18th of 2024?
yes,
And were you specifically, did you go into a J.C. Penney's?
yes, Your Honor.
All right. And did you take something from J.C. Penney's that would make you guilty of larceny, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
What did you take?
I don't know exactly what it was. I'm thinking maybe some house shoes.
Okay.
I
And did you
don't
pass
know.
the points of sales? Did you pass the cash registers with that item?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you do it with the
Yeah.
intent to deprive J.C. Penney of their property?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Mawad, are you satisfied with the factual basis?
Yes, Judge, very satisfied. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to accept the plea as knowing and voluntarily given. Mr. Calhoun, you're a thief.
Yes.
You should have been charged with a felony. You have bad character. I know that just from looking at the amount of product that you stole from J.C. Penney over the course of multiple instances, and the fact that your criminal history dates, you've been stealing since I was 3 years old. You've been going into stores and buildings and other places and stealing since I was 3. And I'm no spring chicken. You're a thief. Their restitution has already been stipulated to. Is that correct, counsel?
It has, Judge.
All right, so $2,056 of restitution to J.C. Penney. Your client, sir, you're being referred for a pre-sentence interview. So you'll meet with the probation department and they will review all the facts in this and interview you, and then they'll make a recommendation to the court as to the appropriate sentence on this matter. So the other 2 files are being dismissed per the plea agreement.
Mr. Calhoun, you're going to be, judges, did they call him for the interview or does he call? How are you working it these days?
They'll send a notice out.
Okay.
And if he does not receive that notice within the next 2 weeks, he's to call the court.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to set some bond conditions, even though I need to know he's going to do some things while he's awaiting sentencing. He has a personal bond. He's already been out. So he has $1,000 PR bond. Sir, you're to appear in court as directed. You're not to leave the state without permission of the court. You're not to commit any new crimes while released. Mr. Calhoun, if you can stop yourself from stealing while this case is pending, I'd appreciate that. You're to immediately notify the court of change of address or phone number. You're not to go into J.C. Penney, any J.C. Penney. I recommend you not go into any stores. You cannot shop at all without another adult present that isn't a thief.
Yes, ma'am.
You should be ashamed of yourself. You can't consume alcohol or illegal drugs. You could be tested on demand. And we will see you back on your sentencing date. If you don't receive notice within the next week or 2 of that pre-sentence investigative report, you're to contact the court. Okay?
Okay.
And Mr.
You don't
Calhoun,
have to be ashamed of yourself, sir. You could just quit stealing. What else
got
is
it.
there?
you got it, Mr. Calhoun? You understand? She's trying
Yeah.
to, she's mad, but she's trying to give you some good advice like me, okay? All right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
We're all set.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Mr. Calhoun.